This is an application of what you have learned about addition and subtraction of similar and dissimilar fractions. And the best thing to do in order to apply what you have learned is to solve problems such as this one. Let me show you how to solve this problem. The first thing that you have to do is to read, analyze, and understand very well the problem so that you will be able to identify and understand what you are going to do with it in order to solve it. So let me read it to you. Aling Marisa bought 2/5 meter of yellow cloth, 1/3 meter of blue cloth, and 1/6 meter of red cloth to make a dress for her daughter. What is the total length of cloth that Aling Marisa bought? So, the first thing that you have to do is to analyze the question. The question is, what is the total length of cloth that Aling Marisa bought? Since our lesson is about addition and subtraction, so you will just choose between those two. What should be the operation to be used to solve this problem? Is it addition or is it subtraction? What do you think? Very good. That is addition. How did you know that it is addition? What is the clue that you have seen in the question? Yes, that clue is the word total length. Because when you are looking for total length, you are going to add. You are going to combine the things in order to arrive at the total. Since it's looking for the total length of cloth that Aling Marisa bought. Now, after identifying the operation to be used, the next thing to do is to identify what are you going to add. Since the operation you have found out to use is addition. So, the numbers that you're going to look for are the important numbers that are really needed in order to solve the problem. In this problem, what do you think are the numbers or fractions that we are going to use? Yes, that's correct. That's 2/5, which is the yellow cloth, 2/5 meter of yellow cloth, 1/3, which is the meter of blue cloth, and 1/6, which is the meter of red cloth. So, after identifying the numbers, you are going to write them now in order to formulate your number sentence. So, you are going to write 2/5 plus 1/3 plus 1/6 equals and that's it. That's your number sentence. And now that you have arrived at the number sentence, you can now solve the problem. So, let us solve the problem. What do you notice about the given fractions? Are they similar or dissimilar? Yes, they are dissimilar fractions. So, we are going to get the LCD of the denominators, which are 5, 3, and 6. How are we going to do that once again? By doing the multiples. So, 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. Then, for 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. And for 6, 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 plus 6 is 30. Do we now have a common denominator? Not yet. So let's continue doing the multiples. 25 plus 5 is 30. 30 plus 5 is 35. 35 plus 5 is 40. 40 plus 5 is 45. And 45 plus 5 is 50. Then let's have 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24. 24 plus 21 plus 3 is 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. 27 plus 3 is 30. So, can you see now the LCD? Okay, the LCD is 30. Okay, so we can now proceed to changing the fractions into similar fractions. Here 30. And here 30 as well. Okay, so we can now divide to get the new numerator. So that will be 30 divided by 30 divided by 5 times 2. So what will that be? 30 30 divided by 5 is 6 times 2 is 12. So we'll write here 12. Next, 30 divided by 3 times 1. So 30 divided by 3 times 1. So 30 divided by 3 is 10 times 1 is 10. And the last, 30 divided by 6 times 1. 30 divided by 6 times 1. So 30 divided by 6 is 5 times 1 is 5. So they are now similar fractions. So we can now add the numerators. So 12 plus 10 is 22, plus 5 is 27, and the common denominator is 30. What do you notice about the answer 27/30th? Is it the final answer? Not yet. Why? Because we can still reduce it to its lowest term. Using what? GCF or division of numerator by denominator. Yes, it's getting the GCF of 27 and 30, which is what? Let's have the factors of 27. 27 times 1, 9 times 3. How about 30? 30 times 1, 10 times 3, 5 times 6, 15 times 2. Which is its greatest common factor? Very good. The answer is 3. The greatest common factor of 27 is 3. So 27 divided by 3 is 9. And 30 divided by 3 is 10. So, the answer is 9/10. Is it final already? Yes, because it's already in its lowest term. So, we will just put a circle to show that it's the final answer. So, let's go back to the problem. What's the answer to this? Aling Marisa bought 2/5 meter of yellow cloth, 1/3 meter of blue cloth, and 1/6 meter of red cloth to make a dress for her daughter. What is the total length of cloth that Aling Marisa bought? What answer did you get? 9/10. And since this is a problem, you are going to label it. So, the answer is 9/10 meter of cloth. That's the answer. That is the total length of cloth that Aling Marisa bought. 9/10 meter of cloth. Answer to the problem. That's how to solve a problem. How about this one? Let me show you how to solve another problem. For the frontliners, the barangay officials prepared 23.5 liters of alcohol. At the end of the day, they had 13.58 liters left over. How many liters of alcohol were used? Just like what we did in the first problem, let us focus on the question. The question is, how many liters of alcohol were used? So what do you think is the operation to be used there? Is it subtraction or addition? Yes, that's correct. The operation to be used is subtraction because it is asking for the number of liters of alcohol that were used. And in the problem, what is the clue that helps you to identify that the operation is subtraction? Yes, that's the word leftover. Because when you say leftover, something has been used. And that is what we're looking for. The number of liters of alcohol that were used. So, let us focus now on the numbers given or the fractions given. That's 23.5 liters as well as 13.58 liters. So, let us now write the number sentence. That will be 23.5 minus 13.58. Okay, so that's our number sentence. Let us now solve it. So what we are going to do is to again get the LCD of 2 and 8 by doing the multiples. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then, for 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. So, do we now have a common denominator? Not yet. So, let's continue. 10 plus 2 is 12. Then, 14. Then, 16, 18, 20. Then, for 40, do you think we are going to continue getting the multiples of 8? Yes, not anymore. We are just going to continue getting the multiples of 20 because the multiples of 8 are already big numbers. So, we will just continue with getting the multiples of 2. So, what's next? 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Do you now have the common denominator? Yes, very good. That is, oh, we have already here. That is what? 16. 16 is the least common denominator. I'm sorry, it's least common denominator. 24 is already a common denominator. But since we are looking for least common, that's why we're going to use 16. Okay? Again, why 16? Because we are looking for least, smallest. That's why we will use 16 instead of 24. So, I will write here 16 and I will write here 16. Let's do the division of LCD divided by denominator times numerator. So the LCD is 16 divided by 2 times 1. So that is 16 divided by 2 times 1. So what will that be? 16 divided by 2 is 8 times 1 is 8. Now how about 23, which is a whole number? You will just have to write it beside the fraction. So that will be 23 and 8, 16. 23 and 8, 16 minus, it's the next. That is 16 divided by 8 times 5. 16 divided by 8 times 5. What is that? 16 divided by 8 is 2 times 5 is 10. So again, don't forget the whole number, which is 13. So write it here. So that will be 23 and 8 16ths minus 13 and 10 16. So first, subtract the whole numbers. That's the answer. Three minus 13 is 10. So the whole number is 10. And then let's subtract the numerator. 8 and 10. So what will happen here? If the case is like this, you will not subtract the whole numbers first, because you are going to borrow. Why are you going to borrow? Because 10 is bigger than 8. So you cannot subtract 10 from 8 because 10 is bigger than 8. So what will happen here? You are going to borrow. 8 will borrow from 23. And the 1 or the 1 whole that you are going to borrow from 23 will be added to 8. And since the denominator is 16, the 1 whole that you are going to borrow from the whole number will have a numerator and denominator of 16 as well, because you have to add a similar fraction to this fraction. That's the reason. So since you will borrow 1 whole from 23, 23 will become 22, and you will have 16 16th. Where did 16 16th come from? It came from the 1 whole that you borrowed from 23. Because remember, 1 whole number is equivalent to a numerator and a denominator that is the same, just like this. So this will become 22 and 16 16ths. Then you will add 8 16ths. So what will that be? That will become 22, and what is 16 plus 8? Okay, 16 plus 8 equals 24. So that will be 24 16. 22 and 24 16 minus 13 and 10 16. Okay, so can we now subtract? Yes, because 24 is now bigger compared to 10. So let us now do the subtraction. 22 minus 13 equals 9. And 24 minus 10 equals 14. And the denominator is 16. Again, where did 22 16 16 come from? You borrowed 1 whole from 23. That's why 23 became 22. And 16 16 is equivalent to the 1 whole that you borrowed from 23. 16 16 will be added to 8 16. So you now have 24 16. Why did we borrow? Because you cannot subtract 10 from 8. That is the case if you cannot subtract the subtrahend from the minuend. The subtrahend is the second number in subtraction. Okay? So this becomes 22 and 24 16 minus 13 and 10 16. So the answer is 9 and 14 16. Now my question is that the final answer? Okay, not yet. Why? Because we can still reduce 14 16. What are we going to use in order to reduce it? Yes, we're going to use greatest common factor. And what's the greatest common factor of 14 and 16? So what's the factors of 14? 14 times 1 and 7 times 2. How about 16? 16 times 1, 8 times 2, 4 times 4. So what is the greatest common factor there? Yes, that is 2. So you will divide 14 and 16 by 2. And remember, you will just write the whole number 9 before you divide 14 and 16. 14 divided by 2 is 7, while 16 divided by 2 is 8. So, is 9 and 7 8 the final answer? Yes, because 7 8 is already at its simplest or lowest term. So we will just put a circle to show that it is in its final answer. So let's go back to the problem. 23 and 1/2 minus 13 and 5/8 equals 9 and 7/8. And what's the label for that? The label is liters. 9 and 7/8 liters. That's it. That's how to solve problems using subtraction and addition of similar and dissimilar fractions. I hope that it will help you to solve the problems that you will encounter in the module and in the activity sheets. Good luck!